Hey guys and girls, welcome to the Playstuff versus Team Dicknitas ETF2 Highlander League match. Tonight we're playing a stopwatch mode ADDA. Sorry, just getting things sorted out over here. Jim, if I can pass across to you to explain to everyone what that means. Tonight's cast is by myself, Logan, and Jimbomcb from Playstuff. And we will be making no apologies for an entirely biased cast.
Good evening. Basically, the game is being played as an ADDA, so one team attacks, and it currently looks like Playstuff is attacking, so Playstuff will have to push the cart as far as they can, as quick as they can. Once that round is over, the teams are swapped over, and Playstuff will defend. And they basically have to stop the enemy team from capping as far they did or as quick as they did, and then it's reversed.
That's right, and it's an exciting game mode, stopwatch, as the name implies, and as Jim explains, up against the clock. And here we go, kicking off with the scout for Playstuff, just sitting on that cart, trying to make some progress with it. Dicknitas choosing to set up camp at the top. Good place for their sentry, good place for the engineer to keep his farm, and Playstuff knowing it's a good place and moving in immediately and taking it all down. So not a bad start, bit of progress, and we've seen Playstuff play on this map before, they're familiar with it, but this time we're in the 4th division of the ETF2 League, which is a vast change from last season, which we were in 6th, but managed to go 10 points to 0. Over the entire season, so we applied to season 5 this year, and the admins at ETF2 League, they said, guys, you're going in Division 4, so yeah, we'll see how we get on. We're playing for fun with the aim to win, of course, but the goal at Playstuff is always to pretty much remain positive and get the most fun out of it, rather than beating each other up over not being as elite as the other opponents.
And here we could see the Playstuff decided to take an Uber up the top where the Team Dicknitas had their sentry set up. They mopped it up pretty cleanly, and they've just sealed through the first point, pushing now on to second with a group pushing up under the roof and clearing it out. Possibly
very nice start. I mean, this is a really quick push. Boy Lee, the engineer for Playstuff, doing a great job getting his mini sentry down nice and quick, nice and easy to relocate. No messing around, building lodge camps for the attacking team engineer on Highlander, and an engineer not necessarily being a player class you see in competitive TF2, apart from Highlander, of course, which every class is represented, and that's why it appeals to us so much.
Yes, we can see they're making a good fairway on the next point, but blue team do have the Uber now, and they're just going to try and take out what they can to let the rest of the team just push the cart forward. See, they're pushing through into their spawn now, just going as far as they can.
And I think they missed the heavy behind them there. I didn't realise he was right behind them, because the blue medic goes down. Dicknitas still haven't stopped the cart, but they have taken out the heavy medic. Fortunately, he'd just blown his Uber, so he pretty much used his value for now, and here we go. The first pause we've seen since the start of the game of the cart, but a really good time so far, Jim.
Absolutely. It looks like a fair few of the red team are down, so Playstuff are going to do what they can to harass them a little bit, but it looks like they're spawning up. Blue do have a fair bit of an Uber advantage though, so it's just a matter of trying not to get killed, getting some damage in on themselves to Uber up, and just get ready for that final push down the ramp and see what damage they can do.
Yeah, Sarah, the Playstuff medic, he's really good at building that Uber nice and quickly and using it rather than losing it. He's one of the best medics in the Playstuff community. We're a fairly new team to competitive play. We used to have a clan years ago when the beta was around, and into the first year of TF2, but we kind of we got bored of it. It was 6v6, we were playing for fun. We kind of advanced quite far and then started meeting much more serious business teams, so I think it just kind of died out. But this is a team that's been kind of spontaneously formed, hasn't it? It's grown out of a lot of hours playing together, a lot of focus on team play on our pub server, and the guys are getting better every week. I mean, from what I've seen, Jim.
Absolutely. I mean, they've had a near unbeaten record. I can't remember how many losses they've had exactly, but it hasn't been many at all.
No.
But they've definitely been putting up a good fight. Looks like they've got Spy in, unfortunately not taken out the sentry. They're just trying to get whatever fire they can in on the sentry beneath the stairs here, but it looks like Red Team have the bottom secured pretty well, and it's just another time of just sitting back and building up the Ubers.
Yeah, the engineer for the Red Team doing a great job. He's got his wrangle sentry out. He's well positioned, and he's being protected by the demo man at all times. That's an interesting choice, Jim. I normally see the pyro playing a much bigger part in the spy checking of the engineer than Team Dicknitas are employing at the minute, favouring the demo man instead with the sticky bomb trap. And that's possibly a sensible decision. He's still got his pipe bombs.
Yeah, so but yeah, they're definitely putting up a good fight. So it's going to be interesting how this pans out. A Red Team have their heavy down, but Red Team do seem to be losing quite a few players here, but they still have the sentry up down the bottom, which is going to be pretty vital to any successful push.
Yeah,
Both teams
and Playstuff are going to want to either Uber the heavy. Oh, here we go. They're Ubering the heavy, dropping down, force the Uber from the Red Team, but that's not going to protect their sentry, their engineer camp, and players falling for both teams. Loads of players falling for Playstuff. Quite a good defence by Dicknitas there. I'd say very solid defence. They lost their sentry, but they used their Uber effectively and took a good chunk of Blues down, and they will hold for the time being.
Absolutely. It's interesting. The soldier had his, I feel really bad now, I can't remember the name of it, but he had his little battle horn which gave him all many crits, and so it definitely seemed to help a little bit. They got a fair bit of damage down and managed to repel the attack, which was pretty impressive considering they had their sentry totally down, but they just managed to hold it off.
Yeah, it surprised me. I thought that Playstuff had done what they needed to. I keep calling the teams by their names. I'll refer to them as red and blue from now on, that's probably easier. But the blue team did a good job pushing, but yeah, as you say, Reds rallying together and holding off in fine style, really.
Absolutely, both medics down now. Apocalypse got a very nice stab on the enemy medic there, so that's him down for a few seconds. Sarah was just back up our medic for our team, so he's got a little bit of an Uber advantage. The sentry's been set up under the building on the right when they're going down the ramp here, so it's going to see interesting to see how they adjust to the new sentry placement and see if they have any different tactics to take it down.
Yeah, it's a really sensible decision by Reds, moving the location of the sentry, just keeping Blues guessing, keeping them on their toes, and they're all set up nicely there with a full level 3. Blues now preparing to push, coming back from spawn, all but the heavy alive and the scout rather. They'll be respawning soon. The scout will obviously power forward nice and quickly. The heavy really wants to wait till the medic's got his Uber anyway, before he shows his face too much. But here we have Blue's spy. He's checking the scene out. He's seeing where the sentry is, and he's running around the back now. He's going to try and get some sort of position, possibly by dropping down through the window to take that sentry out and give Blues a much easier job on the push. Blues with full Uber, Reds with full Uber, so really it's a matter of who blows theirs first. And here comes the drop down.
Very nearly taken the red out of. It was just surprising them they were dropping down right in front of them. They were looking a totally different way. Unfortunately, Blues medic being taken down.
Yeah, absolutely. That was another good hold by Red. Both had the Uber advantage at the same time, but I think, and I might be wrong, I think they took down our medic just as he was hitting his Uber. Oh no, there he is. Oh no,
he's only back up. He was
yeah. No, that was lovely work by Dicknitas there. Actually, their name Dicknitas is it's good reasons, if any, to refer to them as Red at this particular point in time. I don't want to keep repeating that. It makes me cringe every time, especially as I'm a Team Dicknitas fan and being the only major UK esports team. Feel slightly patriotic about them and offer them support. It's sacrilege to be calling your team Dicknitas, but I suppose it's a nod in the right direction.
Here we see the red heavy just poking out his head a little bit to try and just harassing him a little bit. They have their full Uber and blue do not, but it's nearly there, so it's just a matter of hanging back, not doing anything too drastic, and just building up for yet another Uber push and see if they can take this down. They've set a fairly good time so far. They managed to capture 3 points in 2 minutes 35, so it's going to be definitely a challenge if they can hold off the when they're defending, if they can hold the enemy off for the first 3 points in a decent time, they're going to be away with a decent win.
Yeah, I think that's their. I mean, that's their advantage here. They certainly are having trouble pushing this final point, but with that time, as you say, 2 minutes 35, that's a pretty quick time, and it's going to be surprising if Reds can beat it. But we've seen more surprising things happen. So Blue should certainly not relax at this point. They need to keep the push going. I'd suggest they need to regroup a bit more, maybe stop poking around the corner quite so much until they're really ready to go. Maybe they could employ a more of a harassment tactic prior to popping their Uber and force an Uber out of red a little bit earlier, just to get that advantage as they come down to push and have more of them standing when the Ubers run out. We'll see.
Absolutely. It's again, they both have full Ubers up. 2 players down for each team. Let's see how this Uber works. Push first.
Oh, and this is strong. They took the heavy down very nicely, the Blue team, as they came around the corner. The sentry farm goes down. The medic's left his soldier, but the soldier using his buff banner again. He's pretty good getting that out. Is it the buff banner that makes the crits?
Yes, the buff banner, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I played that man, so I should know. I've played something like 1,800 hours of TF2, 2,000 hours, but you know, old brain and all that.
No, I couldn't remember either. It's I don't think it's commonly used that much in competitive. I haven't personally seen it in the competitive matches I've been a part of. But
me neither.
Not saying much.
Well, it's a big sacrifice as a soldier not to have your shotgun, isn't it? It can get you out of so many difficult situations, especially if you want to be aggressive. You know, you find yourself in the middle of the enemy. A shotgun's going to serve you much better than a buff banner. But defending this point, I can see the reason to use it. You know, they're all together, so it's going to have the best effect. And really, you know, the shotgun's not going to come into play as much because at the moment, they're defending on the ramp, trying to keep Playstuff pushed back. And they need every little buff they can get, really, to do that.
Absolutely.
So sorry, mate.
It's quite an interesting decision defending. It might not be so good attacking, for example, because he might run about with medic as a pocket a lot. Having the shotgun if he's off in his own is going to be pretty vital, I'd say. Spy taking down the demo there, nicely done. They're making a good push. We need to see if they're oh, it's stupid. Sorry, I'll just interrupt that.
They've got the momentum, but into overtime, and it does look like Dicknitas is going to be able to hold. And there it goes. Dicknitas wins.
They've defended it up to the last point with 2 minutes 35 seconds remaining, or taken to capture the 3 points. So it's decent time set now. The Team Dicknitas have to capture, I believe, at least 3 points. And they need to do that in 2 minutes 35.
Yeah, and there's the challenge. I mean, whilst that was a very, very nice defensive final point, as Jim says, it's simply a matter now of Playstuff holding them for longer than 2 minutes 35 before the 3rd point. So definitely very, very, very doable. And we'll just see how they get on.
Yes, I do believe the only way the Team Dicknitas can win this is either capping the 3 points faster than that, which, let's be honest, is going to be one hell of a task, or getting the bomb into the pit at the end and capturing all 4 points on the map. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they do.
Oh, okay. So if they miss the time but cap the map, they still can win the points.
Yes.
Right. Oh, well, that makes it a little bit harder for Playstuff, but nonetheless.
We can see the red team have the sentry up on the same position they had it. Playstuff had when they were attacking. And
yeah,
very similar tactics, pushing up top with an Uber again. Attack.
I think it's a pretty standard tactic on this map, isn't it? It's about the best place to have your sentry farm. You can support the heavy medic. They can fall back to it. The pyro's got a nice place to come back, get a bit more fuel and spy check. And it's probably the safest position at the start of the game to set up your sentry farm and hold.
Yes, Playstuff doing quite a good job of holding them off. It seemed to be a better job than Team Dicknitas did hold them off anyway, as their sentry is still up. It's going to be interesting to see how they attack going down here as the cart's just coming out the other side. They don't seem to do much.
Playstuff needs to wake up a little bit though, because they're letting this cart get strolled past them, and I think probably in the excitement of the game, as I say, fairly new team playing together, they've been concentrating on the push that was coming from the top. But that was kind of a half-hearted push on the basis that main strength was coming from the scout at the bottom with the pyro pushing forward. But they've been taken down. They've capped the point, Team Dicknitas, but
no,
the players have stopped it on the cap.
Yeah, they couldn't have got it any closer if they tried. It's quite impressive.
Yeah. Is that capped or is that just about to be? Oh no, it's not capped. Oh, that is impressive.
Any undefended touch in that will be capped straight away, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I didn't spot the sign hadn't changed to blue actually. Of course, in Team Fortress, when you take a point, and there you go, changes to blue, and Dicknitas move on. They've 46 seconds now to get 2 more points, and it's going to be very difficult indeed. And someone in chat is asking HUD, please. I can see the HUD myself on this tree.
Maybe a scoreboard. There's a scoreboard. But yeah, stream might be doing a quick restart and the map just try to fix some issues. But good push from blue here. With Scout getting behind, and I managed to grip up and take down the defending medic pretty well.
Yeah, very good. 4 seconds to beat Playstuff's time for 2 points. Not going to happen.
So now this is it. Time's out is a question. They have to cap these 4 points in these 5 minutes 45 seconds. Obviously, time added as normal when they capture the points. But Playstuff been doing an alright job, a lot better than Team Dicknitas were doing defending. So they just have to keep up the defense.
And 5 minutes, not such a long time to hold on this map. I mean, a lot longer when you're playing in a pub game.
Well, up to 10 minutes now that they have it captured, as the times do increase each time a point is captured. But
right, okay. I must admit, I find it a little bit bizarre that for a stopwatch watch mode, I don't think I've ever either commentated, being new to the whole commentating and casting business, or played in a tournament game in stopwatch mode on a PL map. It does seem to devalue the speed of capping in many ways, but yeah, as you say, you know, it's going to be very possible to hold Blues off for this 10 minutes, but at the moment they're looking pretty strong. They look like they've got themselves together.
Yeah, so they're making a good push. I must say, I do think stopwatch is a good thing. I mean, previously there wouldn't be much of a way to differentiate between players capping more points than the other but still not winning the round. It's definitely a good thing. It just can be a little bit confusing, I believe, to your players.
Yeah, it's certainly got me confused, and I think Playstuff are in trouble here. Dicknitas pushing really strong. Still got that buff banner out, and this looks like they're going to do it.
Yes, this looks like...
And there they go.
I must say, Playstuff, they did well initially holding it off, but after the enemy attackers team got a bit of momentum up, they just pushed through, and they just couldn't gather up the force to hold them off properly, and unfortunately they lost.
They looked a bit scrappy in defence. Playstuff, once the first point fell, they kind of seemed to be coming out spawn in fits and starts and not really regrouping properly, and that makes them vulnerable when there's a full team all focusing on sticking together around the cart or covering those that are on the cart.
Absolutely. Now the teams are going to switch, and they're going to Playstuff will be defending first while Team Dicknitas attack first. So I'm going to quickly restart the stream and we'll be good to go.
Good stuff. Hello and welcome back to Playstuff versus Team Dicknitas in the ETF2 Highlander League Division 4. We're going now into the second round of this ADDA stopwatch mode payload match, and teams just getting ready to kick off.
Absolutely.
Jim, it's been a good game so far.
It's been a very good game. Playstuff stormed through the map, attacking initially, but unfortunately could not keep the momentum up going in. It's a shame. Now then Playstuff defended, and they held off very well at the start, but unfortunately they just couldn't muster up their defences on the last point. Now the teams have been swapped. Playstuff are defending first, and 3 seconds till the round starts.
Yeah, for sure. They looked really strong, holding off, taking the point really nice and quickly to point 3 in the first round. But then couldn't manage to finish the cap, and of course Dicknitas could. They didn't beat the Playstuff time in the first 3 points, but they did cap it, cap the map, so sinking that bomb. And they did really well, really strong. I don't know whether Playstuff were thrown by the momentum that Blue built up, but either way, Dicknitas take the first, and Playstuff now start defending.
Absolutely. I mean, second game in a row, Playstuff have been defending. Each time they've just Ubered a pyro and just air blasted the attacking Uber away, and it's done a very good job of defending the sentry. They're trying to bombard it with stickies and pipes from the lower position. It's managed to take it down. It's pretty decent of them. So they're just pushing around the corner. Engineer's going to try to get it still back up and see if they can cut them off coming out of this tunnel.
Yeah. And they look a little bit more organised here, despite in the first game them holding off that first cap by Dicknitas for a good period of time. They held them off with the cart literally on the cap. This time they're not making the same mistake of letting Dicknitas have a free ride through the tunnel. They've got the soldier, the sniper, the scout flanking whenever he can, all doing a great job, pushing the team back and forcing Dicknitas to come up to the top and address this sentry farm. Being wrangled by Boyle, the engineer for Playstuff.
Again, they just totally nullified the Uber, and just one single air blast pushed them up in the air, the sentry shot them, and away they flew. That was it. Again,
super effective.
Yeah, they're trying the same tactic now, bombarding with pipes. It might possibly take it down, but it looks like they've got it covered.
It does, and this is a really solid start from Playstuff. While we're at this early stage, and without cutting into the action too much, I should just mention a few of the players for the community. Today, Angry Potato, one of our best demo man. We've got Almighty Bob, who's playing engineer now. He's switched. I notice he's the team caller usually, team captain. Really solid player, really well organised. A notable sniper in the Priest. And Jimmy, one of the most annoying scouts you'll ever come across. All the other players, really good, but we've got a lot of action happening now, so I'm going to stop talking about the players and focus on the game.
Here we see a blue team just managing to clean up the defence, and making a good cap in the first point. Decent times, they Playstuff held them off for a decent time, so it's interesting to see if they can get their momentum up pushing it, or if Playstuff can break that momentum and hold them off for a little bit.
For sure, and I'd like to see Playstuff just settling themselves down into defending the second cap a little bit better than they managed to last time. They were a little bit split up. They kind of seemed to lose their focus after they successfully held off the first point, and I think they were concentrating possibly on the stopwatch rather than the fact that the whole map needs defending.
Yes, we can see the heavy medic tried to, the heavy medic tried to push roof. They just managed to take the heavy down, and Jimmy came up behind them and just picked off the medic. It was,
yeah, really nice work. A crucial position, isn't it, the roof on this map? At this particular point here, if you can hold the roof, then you've pretty much held the point. Not necessarily easy to do. There's several routes to attack this roof. You can come around the back and flank up the stairs. There's the stairs from the inside of the building.
So here's what they're doing now.
Yeah, and with a good Uber they can push it successfully, but Playstuff holding on to their Uber till they need it, and it's gone now. And Blue still not got their Uber. 30% to go. The engineer for Playstuff, Almighty Bob, getting that level 3 sentry up, and he'll be shouting at his teammates if they dare to take his metal. And lovely. Demo Man catches the pyro coming in with the flank. But here we see the heavy being taken down by the sniper. Not even chance to mention the fact the heavy's there at all. And lovely job by the priest. A really, really, really nice job of sniping there. Oh, and the spy for Dicknitas wreaking havoc at the top, using their Uber to take down the sentry farm, and the medic. Oh no, the medic's still alive. Playstuff hold on the roof. That's really good stuff.
Absolutely decent defence. They seem to be holding control of the roof pretty well. They have lost their sentry, so it is going to be a bit of a loss against it. It would be great if they could get that back up as soon as possible, as having that overview of the cart with the sentry makes it very, very difficult to poke around that corner successfully.
For sure, and it just makes the rest of the team's job that much easier because they know the roof's secured, vaguely secured, or secured enough, especially if there's a pyro up there with the engineer, just a spy check to air blast anyone that decides to be offensive. And if Playstuff can get this sentry back up, they're going to be in good shape to hold off for a nice amount of time, setting a nice target time.
Absolutely. We see them now taking the bottom route instead of trying to push up roof, which, taking the advantage of only level 1 sentry being up, it's impressive. Well, interesting to see what they can do against it, but they seem to be being held off pretty well. They
were held off pretty nicely, but as you say, it was good kind of adapting on the fly by them there. They knew the sentry was only a level 1, they knew it wasn't going to cause them too much grief, and if they could put the pressure on. And this is a good move by their engineer. He's got his wrangled mini sentry, and he's using that to cause our sniper as much grief as possible.
So you can see from this balcony way behind here, not many players ever go up there, but the Blue managed to get a sniper up there and picked off our medic, which I'd say turned the tide of battle for that.
It seems to have done. They've capped that nicely now and continue to push on, and really it's again time for Playstuff to regroup, get themselves into a nice defensive position. Here comes the heavy and the medic. They've got they're a long way off their Uber Red, but they've just spawned. So Blue now continue to push. 60% of the Uber ready. Most of the team alive, but the heavy crucially taken down by the spy for the red team.
So you can see Blue team are kind of taking it easy, coming back a little bit as Red have managed to successfully get their defense up. A very nice shot from the sniper taking out the soldier. But luckily it was not the medic who was beside him.
Absolutely, really, really nice shot. And I think I should also like to mention the spy for the red team for Playstuff, APOC. He's played in many of the recent Highlander games, and he's proving a rather deadly spy. He's great on our pub server. He's a long-time friend and a member of the community. But competitive-wise, as I say, we're all fairly new, finding our feet, playing competitively regularly, and so really good job, really impressed. He's taken down some key classes, doing some really good work, just weakening the blue team at crucial parts of their team, the people like the heavy, the medic, the classes that can really deal damage. If they can be taken down by the spy, then it really slows the pushing team down.
Absolutely, Red are doing a great job of holding this off. They tried to push in from top with an Uber, but it just got counter-Ubered and was held off pretty successfully. It's just a matter of both the medics survived the attack, so they're on a kind of level. Ubers now. Blue team having a slight advantage. Oh, saying that it's swap. Red team have a bit of an advantage now. Nothing major, so it's just a matter of just trying that again and seeing if Blue can break through.
Yeah,
the heavy's
not
caught off there. It's on no health, so I interrupt. He's yelling for medic, and Blue team managed to, well, maybe they heard that and they managed to push out and take it down a little bit. But here we go. Borley, the red heavy, trying to decide what to do. There we go.
and they've thrown their Uber. There you go. In response to the position they're in, really, they've got a strong defence position now. Level 3 sentry. All the heavy classes apart from the soldier are alive for red. The demo and the pyro down for blue, just respawning now. And crucially, I think at the moment, the priest was taken out, the sniper for Playstuff taken out, and he's been stopped from his incessant headshotting. And blue on the cart with the pyro alone on the cart, the spy pushing forward to cover his flank.
Absolutely, in we go, buff banner. Blue do not have an Uber yet, it's 80%. It's interesting to see pushing early a little bit.
It is.
Losing quite a lot of players though, and falling back, so they do have an Uber, so take down the sentry. It's getting a fair good push in this point. Oh,
they're certainly in a strong position now using the Uber, and that's a real advantage for them because red team only half alive and no Uber.
Absolutely, we've seen Syringel there, the blue spy, with a very good stab on our heavy and taking out a key figure in the defence of any possible defence in that point, and they're just pushing through now onto the final point. They managed to hold that off for 10 minutes though, so that's a very good time.
It is a really good time, and I'd like to see them kind of taking a deep breath, patting themselves on the back at doing good so far, and really kind of getting themselves together for this defence. I'd like to see them not throwing their Uber unless they have to, trying to keep the advantage on the blue team, because the blue team's going to want to use its Uber to attack, and we don't want to be left caught short, especially as the blue team's rolling with the buff banner, which as they attack as a pack is going to give them a really nice advantage, which I've been impressed with the way they're using it this game, Jim. It's like you say, it's not something we see all the time. It's a big sacrifice because the soldier loses his shotgun. But they are using it very nicely indeed, and there's possibly some tips to be being picked up here by the Playstuff side.
Yeah, without the shotgun, I mean, he has to basically rely on anything else. If he runs out of rockets, he can melee at best, and he just has to rely on other people. See, blue had a good Uber advantage. They're pushing them back a little bit now, but that's red, sorry. Blue have 100% Uber now, so red medic has fallen and they're going to take advantage of that. They're now running with crits, so that'll charge up faster, and they're just trying to clean out what they can. Yeah,
and the spy, they're just trying to take out the red sentry, but being exploded by the demo man. Lovely job. Blue pushing with their crits, but unfortunately those crits, they don't protect the pushing classes, and if you've got a half decent demo man who can land a few good sticky bombs around the team, he can cause havoc. It just weakens the push a little bit, but can be successful. It's a gamble, and a lot of red going down. We've got the blue heavy medic on the top, clearing away any lingering defence and taking down the engineer nicely. Half the red team down. The heavy, the medic. The heavy, the demo, the spy, the engie.
Oh, beautiful snipe from Priest here. He managed to take down the medic, and he had a fair bit of an Uber, I believe, so that's definitely going to hurt their push, but we'll see if Playstuff can clean them up.
Really nice work, yeah, and they've got to watch out for their spy. Oh dear, there we go, the spy takes down the medic, the pyro comes in knowing that everyone's weakened, tries to set them on fire. Soldier pushing, but he will be taken down by the Playstuff spy, and it looks like they're going to hold most of Team Dicknitas dead, just respawning now, and Playstuff likewise.
4 minutes 30 to hold this point. Blue have a bit of an Uber advantage, so they might have a bit of an advantage pushing in if they're quick enough, but it'll be interesting to see how they do. Here we see our scout. Oh no, he's fallen back now. He was positioned up there. He's now informed his team of the heavy pushing up top. They must know this now, and they were pushing back. They are indecisive, very indecisive.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's interesting watching Dicknitas here. They're employing, I think we've had a server pause actually,
Yeah,
because my
we've had a pause.
Screen's frozen, but what I'd say is it's interesting that they're really running play stuff around. They're splitting up, which has its advantages and disadvantages. I mean, if they attack as a unit in one place, then they bring a lot of firepower and strength and support with the buff banner, with that kind of thing. But if they attack the way they are doing, which is pretty much on all sides, the demo man coming across to the red respawn, the soldier and the medic ready to drop down from the middle, and the rest of the team kind of floating about, it keeps Red guessing. And I don't know whether I'd like to see Red kind of regrouping a little bit more and not taking the bait, not kind of doing what they're doing. I just had a message from Almighty Bobby, says they've paused because they've got an AFK. So we'll be back in the action soon, guys. In the meantime, we just reflect really on how things have gone so far, Jim.
Absolutely. I mean, Playstuff have been doing a decent job at defending. They've been losing an awful lot of players, though, barely managing to hold off some of these pushes. If they can get their teamwork together, get up as a bunch, and not lose as many players, it's going to be hard for them to break this defense. Saying this, Playstuff defending have 50% Uber, and blue attackers have 90% Uber, so you can see them in this room here. They're going to drop down with heavier soldier and probably do what they can against the sentry nest. The rest of the team seems to be pretty preoccupied. The scout, red scout, having a bit of a battle with the down man here, who was trying to cover up our spawn exit, try and get a few kills spawn camping. Be interesting to see how it turns out.
Yeah, that's going to be important, I think, as we go out of the pause, once the AFK player returns, to see how Jimmy handles this demo man, because he can be so devastating to the respawning defending team if he's allowed to take up any kind of position on this shelf here. He allows all sorts of things to happen. One thing that I've seen Blues do already is get their spy onto this little platform here, just to the right of that demo man position, which is a really great place for him to be, because he can nice and easily drop down behind the defending team and catch them by surprise. It's not a ledge that you usually see people in pub games using. It's a skill to jump to it, and yeah, he's been doing that a couple of times, I've noticed, with great effect. A nice place to attack the defending side's defences. But as you say, this Uber that's coming in, going to be crits. The heavy and the soldier, both the medic will be trying to use them both, probably using the soldier's rocket power initially and then dropping down, still with the crits, with the heavy, to try and take out this farm. And really how that goes is a lot dependent on how quickly they do it and how close to Uber's Playstuff are.
Indeed. You can see 2 players down for blue, 3 down for red, so blue do having a bit of an advantage in numbers. Some of the blue back at their base, so it's about even. It's a bit hard to judge the respawn times, as because it's paused, it currently says that a lot of the red team, for example, have minus 200 seconds to spawn, so... Oh, here we go, we're back
and here we go,
and
back in the game. And did I see the soldier go down straight? Oh no, the soldier's dropped down, and here we go. Crits coming through. Nice placement on that sentry by red, though. Soldier does take it down. No, he doesn't take it down. He tries to take it down, and he's taken down. Lovely job by the spy. And blue a little bit out of place here now. They've got they're going for the sentry. They will get the sentry, but they're left with sniper and pyro, who red need to dispatch off rather quickly, and they don't. They let them take it. Well, no, blue did a very good push. Nice push. A good round for Dicknitas. They're at a very beatable time, but if they perform like they did in the last round, not the one we just seen, but the one, the last, the first half of the ADDA format we're playing here, then we've seen that they're pretty good at holding this last point.
Absolutely, and a perfect example of my confusion and it's the first time commentating casting. I had the stream showing a bit of a logo for the first point of that map, so you didn't in fact see the stab and you didn't see the mini sentry, so it's all good now, but apologies about that.
Yeah, guys, like we say, this is our third or fourth cast, I think. Certainly it's the first time Jim's had to cast and control all the production side, which he does a fine job of. And so, yeah, you'll have to just bear with us. We will get better. We do love the game. We've been playing since beta. We're thoroughly involved in map making, modding and playing with TF2. So as a community, it's our passion. And hopefully we can be forgiven for a few little mistakes here and there. Which are outweighed, I think, by the passion and love we have for this fantastic team game.
Absolutely, there's a lot of passion and love for this match right now. I can see Red are doing a good job at defending the roof here.
They are.
Just got the sentry up in that critical placement. Snipers having trying to get shots off each other. Red sniper is down, so we can just see Priest poking out here, trying to do what he can against the sentry, but not much he's going to be able to do on this.
No, he's got his work cut out, really. Spy for Blues, trying to take down that sentry, but already on fire from the pyro. Red's doing a really solid job here. Blues pushing with a sniper, not necessarily the class of choice to be dealing damage up the front, but what they had available at the time, as Blue are taking the building route.
Let's see the buff banner back up for Red here. Just trying to push back the attack, which they didn't manage to pull off.
Yeah, really good at defence, Team Dicknitas, I have to say. I've been impressed by the defending style. I've been impressed by the use of the buff banner. Generally seem a very solid team, and I guess we should expect that now that we're playing in Division 4 of the TF2 League.
Yes, you can see the snipers are still picking away at each other. The defending sniper has managed to take down both the attacking medic and engineer, so it's obviously going to slow them down for a bit, while Red now have a full Uber.
I do. And that's going to be important. Blue kind of coming in fits and starts at the minute. I think they need to maybe, again, take a deep breath, regroup, focus on a coordinated offensive. I mean, they took the sentry down, but it's back up again. Only level 1, so there's a window of opportunity to move into this space, but unfortunately only just respawning most of the blue team. The heavy down, the sniper down. They're coming out now. And I think, yeah, you've got to give it to Dicknitas' sniper, Team Red, doing a great job of picking off damage-dealing classes as they approach piecemeal, really. As I say, I'd like to see Blues regroup and be a little bit more coordinated about this offensive, because Reds are definitely know their defence strategies, let's say.
Absolutely. We can see the attacking spy just sitting here, just waiting for the moment to move, and he's deciding to take a little snip around now, but he was just trying to wait for that perfect moment for quite a while.
Yeah, for sure. And the spy for the defending team, Dicknitas Red, he's doing a superb job. He's just taken down the medic again for Playstuff, and he's just kind of taking down key classes combined with the sniper. The sniper and the spy become really quite crucial, even more so than usual on this kind of position on a payload map, because the heart of the team, the damage dealing classes, really don't want to be distracted too much away from their kind of defensive stronghold. If they do, they leave the engineer exposed, so they kind of really sensibly here, the Reds, they're holding this roof, all classes holding the roof. Kind of, you see the pyro go off, do a little bit of damage, the spy drop down, the soldier drop down, but they all return to that roof, keeping a nice defensive position, and really causing Blues a problem here on the push. Again, what we see here, just the blue engineer almost queuing up to die, I'd say. There's a level 3 sentry there, he's on his own. He's a distraction, of course, and there we see Blues coming in with the Uber, and it's a lovely, lovely play. Take down the farm at the top, catch Reds completely off guard, and they've dropped down and they're going to take this point. That was a really nice play by Playstuff.
Indeed it was. You can see they're just cleaning up what they can of the defenders here. Only 10 seconds left around capturing this point, so it's cutting it close. We'll have
Absolutely.
to see how they can push forward into the following points.
That's a really good time that Dicknitas have established for themselves there. A really strong defence of that point. 2 more points to go. Plenty for Playstuff to do here. Going to be an uphill struggle, Jim.
It is indeed. They seem to be on a bit of a roll, pushing through as the attackers haven't fully set up the next point. That quite possibly could be a clear push list point, but we'll have to see how Blue manage to jump in and see if they can hold them off. Doesn't appear to
seem to have some momentum. Seem to doing quite well. If they have an Uber in hand, they're 10% off an Uber, and the medic goes down. So that's not good, but they cap the point, and that's what matters.
And so they have to, let me get this, try and work this one out with the bit of a confusing stopwatch mode.
Yeah.
And they said they have captured this point, I believe, 4 minutes 30 quicker than the other team did. So I can't say for sure. It's too much, just too much for me.
Yeah, it does confuse me a little bit, this stopwatch mode. We appear to have a time of 4 minutes 16 remaining on the clock. I'm guessing that's the final time to cap the next 1 point, the overall map time. That's definitely defendable by Dicknitas. You know, we've seen them defend for longer than that the game before. So yeah, definitely Playstuff with it all to do, and Dicknitas seem to be sitting pretty, but Playstuff, they're all alive. They're 15% off an Uber. The team's together. The Pyro's doing a great job spy checking. They've got this offensive engineer who's been causing a lot of problems for the red team. Red team play their Uber.
Yeah, they managed to force the Uber.
Lovely work. Lovely work. They forced the Uber and fell back and kept theirs, so they're going to be able to take full advantage of their Uber here. Everyone's staying alive apart from the spy and the soldier. So nice bit of damage going to be dealt here if Playstuff want to come around this corner. Waiting for the demo man to appear on the scene, and
yeah,
there you go. Uber from Playstuff. Little bit hesitation, and here we go, pushing in. Lovely job.
They're going to have to make use of this Uber. Going to use it to their full advantage because they have to take down this whole defence and capture the point in 3 minutes. They're doing a decent job of cleaning up.
But the spy's doing a fine job here. Now taken down by the medic, and they will hold their sentry farm till the soldier appears. Just to...
Sticky's being bombarded on the cart now, so if they can get the down man down with the air shot, the pyro out in the sky, we'll have to see how they can hold this off. It's back and forth.
It really is, and yeah, I've never wanted to see a sniper so much in my life. The priest just respawning now, coming back. He can, of course, have a very effective role at this particular point. He needs to take down the sniper for Reds, and they need to stop kind of this piecemeal pushing in now. Blues, they need to really think about the fact that they've got 2 minutes 10 to do this. That's not so long, especially if they keep falling piecemeal. So respawning now. All of Playstuff will be up and alive any second, as will all of Dicknitas. I can't see where's the sentry? The sentry's going up in the little hangover underneath the main building.
As we can see, the defending sniper was doing a good job, and accompanied with the spy, they're just picking off 1 or 2 players here and there of the attacking team, and that really hurts the attack a lot. Having having all 9 players up compared to some of them being down, it's quite a big blow to the attack.
It is, absolutely, and Blue pushing in with their Uber. Red have buff banner. They've used their Uber, but they have enough to hold Blue back, and I think Blue a bit flustered, seeing the timer tick down, knowing this is their only chance. they have to take this point in the next minute, or the match is concluded. If my understanding of the rules is correct.
This is.
So yeah, lessons to take out of this, I think, for Playstuff are just to kind of be a little bit calmer and regroup and not slip into deathmatching. I think is probably the most offensive way I could put it.
Yes, to be critical of Playstuff, the big thing they can't seem to grasp just yet is mustering together as a force and managing to stay alive and then breaking through as one defense.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to improve upon, but they are doing a great job in most other aspects, and it's very
No, they
impressive.
are. I don't want to take anything away from that, but if I'm going to flatter them the whole way through the match, then I really ought to be honest about their faults. And yeah, that is their biggest fault here. They like, I think Lemmywinks has the most appropriate name. They're like lemmings jumping to their death. So really well played by Dicknitas. Don't want to take anything away from their performance, and I don't want to take anything away from Playstuff's overall performance. I just think experience will see them improve in that regard, but it was quite apparent that on defence Dicknitas had strategy and a cool and calm approach, and sometimes defending and sometimes attacking. Playstuff's team play fell apart a little bit, and they lost their coordination to the point where they became a much weaker unit.
Absolutely, we've seen a good game from both teams and good games thrown in there. It's always important to be well mannered even in the face of defeat. But,
yeah, for sure. It's definitely something I think all of us really value at Playstuff is that, we kind of started the place years ago because there was so many tards on the internet and everyone said, well, it's the internet, what do you expect? And we kind of said, well, we don't expect that. We know them we know lots of individuals who are really nice, and actually we've found even in competitive TF2, if you're just a little bit positive with your opponents, then they relish the chance to play with a friendly bunch of guys, and they're just as friendly back. So really important to us, really important to be well-mannered. Yeah, cheers, Jim. Thanks for joining me casting, mate. It's nice not to have you just doing the production and camera. I've really enjoyed casting with you, mate.
It's been good. It's a bit of a struggle trying to figure out what's what with all the setups and which would lead to the people getting to look at the lovely test card for a bit of that round, but
I'm just going to go, no, it's really easy, and then not mention the fact that I was having trouble even multitasking, replying to Steam Friends messages in game, and think about what I was saying. It's really not easy to do other stuff while you're observing and trying to provide an interesting commentary for the viewers. So, cheers, guys. Anyway, good night, and see you tomorrow.